MG, big win for the Tigers yesterday.
Yeah, if you're a Parramatta fan, you might want to block your ears for the next couple of minutes because this is all about the Tigers, the upset of the year thus far. They were looking at 6 in a row defeats, but yesterday they somehow found a way to win, and it was on the back of Jackson Hastings, and this is how he did it.
11 seconds left in the game. This is it, boys. This is it. Tackle count restart. Jackson has a shot at field goal. Jackson has a shot at field goal. And he's kicked it. He's kicked it. Jackson Hastings has kicked the field goal. With 1 second left on the clock, Jackson Hastings saved the day.
So good.
So we just haven't got to talk before we played this audio, and we're pretty sure that it was a 2-point field goal, but we can't. If anyone has got concrete evidence that it was a 2-point field goal, please give us a buzz on 133353.
Watching on Fox, MG, they put up 2 points straight away and had to score 20-22, but now looking at the NRL app, they're saying 20-21, so we're not we're not
somebody
sure.
will find
Doesn't
out
matter,
for
but
us.
yeah, they
No,
won.
that's a win's a win, and Jackson Hastings, he was out for it. Look, he's been much maligned. They got moved on from the Roosters. He got moved on from Manly. He went over to the Super League. He got their Man of Steel, which is basically their Dalian Player of the Year. I'm happy to say that he'll be on the show about 8:30 today, and this is how happy he was after the win.
We felt like we probably should have been 2-5 at least, and we let a couple of games slip. We've been close but no cigar a couple of times. As I said, we're finally able to deliver. I'm really happy for not only the playing group, obviously our fans, our members, but our coach. I love Madge, and when I was kicking that, I was just thinking, go over him. And then when I was running back, celebrating like an idiot, I just saw him, the emotion of him in the coach's box. I can't wait to get in there and have a beer, and I don't even know the words to the song, so I'll just be saying all sorts of stuff. So winning's the best feeling ever, and we just need to keep going.
Now, that sounds like a player that's backing his coach, that publicly wants to tell everybody that his coach is doing a good job. Now, does that win bought Madge some time, you reckon, MG?
Well, I've been saying on this show for the last 6 weeks, look, let's not sack coaches. Let's let them see out their tenure. And I think Madge has got this year at least. Just let him go. Just let him go. Look, Luke Brooks, I'm so happy for him yesterday. He got moved. There was a bit of tactical genius from Madge because he put young Hastings at number 7 and he put number 6 on the back of Luke Brooks, who looked like he was more at ease, not setting up play. But they were fantastic yesterday. The Parramatta Royals, on the other hand, well, I think they took the Tigers too lightly. And if you want to be a premiership hopeful, you've got to be better than that, Parra, because that was a game you should have won, and you should have won easily yesterday, but they didn't, and bravo to the Tigers.
Tell you what, that Brooksy, he's a ripper. He's a Putney. He comes down to the Putney Bolo sometimes. One young fella had to go to footy training, forgot his boots. Brooksy went home, and he had, when I say little fella, is a teenager with clobbers on him the size of horses, ironically, who'd hurt big feet. Brooksy went back to his house, got a pair of his personal boots, and gave it to the little fella to go to training that afternoon.
Good man. Go Brooksy. The Knights MG as well. Kalen Ponga, getting a bit sick of hearing about Kalen Ponga's contract dramas. So it got reported that the Knights had pulled the 3-year offer, but the Knights are fuming at those reports. They say it's not true. Are we going to see him at the Dolphins with the Sex Machine, or is he going to be a Knight? What's happening?
Look, I'm with you, Pagey. This saga's going on, and Bulldog Richie came out with a story over the weekend while the game was actually on, while the Knights were taking on the Dragons, which the Dragons ended up winning. And the Knights have refuted it. I don't think Bulldog Richie would have written a column on the back page of a paper if there wasn't some truth to it. Phil Gardner, their CEO, is over in Hawaii at the moment. So, look, things are a bit murky for the Knights.
He's pulled a
honestly.
ScoMo.
Yeah, honestly, I think Kalen Ponga's dad is his manager. I'm not sure if he's accredited as a manager, but they need to make a decision, and they need to make it quick, because while the Knights are pondering whether Kalen Ponga's going to stay or not, there's a bloke called Munster in Melbourne who has about 7 or 8 clubs chasing his signature. And I think Knights would be one of them. And they want to know whether they can put all their chips in the middle to go after Cameron Munster, because he's going to be the most... Well, when he's off contract, he's going to have that many teams after him. After the form that he's been playing over the last few rounds, Cameron Munster's signing is the most prized in the game at the moment.
Golden points. Take a same-game multi on the NRL with Bluebet and get more bang for your buck. Bluebet, the true blue Aussie bookie. T's and C's apply. Gamble responsibly.
NRL season 2022 is flying by. Round 6 already done. MG, let's get into your golden points from round 6. First up, who was the most impressive team of round 6?
Well, they continue to be, and it's the Panthers. They've won 6 in a row. They set another record for the home victories at Bluebet Stadium. They just seem to be doing the do, and they are so impressive, and it's not being biased. You know that I'm not biased towards them. I love Panthers, but if they were playing bad, I would say the same thing. But they're playing an unbelievable brand of footy.
Hard to argue with that. Most surprising team from round 6?
Well, I'll do a good and a bad, I suppose. The Cowboys have surprised me because I didn't think they'd go this well this year. They're sitting in 7th position, and the Knights have lost 4 in a row. And I think the Kalen Ponga saga is starting to affect their on-field performances. They've got to fix that, and they've got to fix that yesterday.
Who was the underperforming team from round 6?
I've got to say Ricky Stewart's Raiders, Pagey. They are sitting in 12th position. They were leading on the weekend 12 points to 0. But they got run down. So, look, I think that at the moment, the Raiders, the Cowboys, as I said, were down 12-0 in Canberra, and they come back and scored 18 unanswered points. So the Faders are in a bit of froth and bubble.
What was the biggest issue out of the weekend for you on the field?
Well, it seems to have got the biggest narrative, and that's the Lomax jump on the back of Tyson Frizzell. And at first I thought, come on, man. You know, really? If I was Tyson Frizzell, I would have done a lot more than he did. But you can't these days, and that's why people do this.
So Tyson made a mistake? Is that he let in a try?
Tyson went to dive on the ball for the Dragons. For the Knights, who he used to play for the Dragons. He missed the ball, and the Dragons scored. And in the post-try celebrations, Lomax has jumped on the back of Tyson Frizzell's shoulders, which Tyson didn't like, so he got him by the jumper and done like a bam-bam to him, bam-bam, with the jersey and threw him to the ground. And look, at the time I didn't like it, and I watched Lomax's answer after the game. He said, look, we're mates, and I wouldn't want to get on the bad side of him, but you can't do that. You just can't do it. You just got to be better than that. It's, you know, a lot of people calling it a grubby act, and I wouldn't go that far. It was just unneeded. It was unneeded by Lomax at the time, and I think that you know he should be pulled aside by his coach and say, look, mate, this is not what we're about. You know, we're going to win. We're going to win in a good way, not going to win with, you know, the fanfare that you showed on our ex-player, who was our ex-teammate as well.
And I know a lot of the players on their way to training listen this time of the week because, drum roll, MG, they want to know who was your round 6 player of the round.
Who else but our guest that's about to come on the show in about 15 minutes, Jackson Hastings. He kicked the winning field goal for the Tigers to lift so much pressure in that game yesterday, that so much lied on that one field goal that Brooks and Madge, Maguire, they should all take him out and buy him a big steak, because he relieved a lot of pressure for the Tigers, did young Jackson Hastings.
Do you reckon Madge kissed him on the lips after the game?
Definitely.
I think
I
definitely.
hope so.
Probably
Well, you can
tongue,
only hope so, can't you?
If he didn't, he should apologise. He deserved
We'll ask
it.
Jackson that. We'll have to ask. Jackson should have been clean shaven for it, but
Would have been passionate. There was a lot of emotion going
it
on
was
after
great
that
to see.
game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Parramatta fans.
It's all
Yesterday,
right.
I think they thought they were going to go through the motions and just beat Tigers because they had all their 75-year reunion. They were celebrating, but somebody forgot to tell the Tigers that because they played with a really good spirit yesterday. Well done.
As a Neil support, you don't mind. Well, you never want to lose, but someone like Jackson, and I think we can all relate to Jackson, where Jackson has been told he's no good by so many people, and then he proved them all wrong.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get beaten, you want someone like Jackson to
Good
do
moment.
it for you.
Good moment.
Yeah. Listener questions? We've got time, Paige?
Yeah, we got time for a listener
All right.
question.
Simon Ackers says, is this Penrith's premiership to lose?
No, I don't think so. I think Melbourne. I think there's other. You know, the Roosters are starting to play well. I think the Sharkies are a dark horse. Manly when Turbo comes back, but no, I don't think it's theirs to lose. They've got to earn the right to win a competition.
Yeah, all right. Dan Scott 10. We're going to go to our break, but he's insisting. Did the Storm make the wrong decision by not prioritising the signature of Cameron Munster over the likes of Pappenhausen, Grant and Hughes?
Well, Pappenhausen, Grant and Hughes are 3 players that I want at my club. Look, Cameron Munster wasn't playing the footy he was playing now back then. On face value, Cameron Munster's the best player in the competition at the minute and the most dynamic. But that's ebbs and flows. So, look, probably, Jess. Probably, if I didn't answer the listener question, I'd probably say they did err, because it would have been good to sign the whole 4. To say to one of your star players you want to take a $300,000 pay cut to stay here, not many players would do that, even for Melbourne, and that's kind of where they put Cam Munster. So I think he'll be. I think He could be at the Knights. Unless Wayne Bennett shows his his subtle side and gets him up there. I think he might be headed to the Knights. Who knows? Watch your space.